They cut across the outer lanes of human space in a tight wedge. Holes painted in ceremonial black, their engines burning a cold blue that made the surrounding stars look dim. They did not hide their mass or their numbers. They wanted to be seen. On every human station and colony, the same emergency banners appeared. Unknown fleet. Unknown intent. Mass displacement. Incoming. The Galactic Coalition called it a corrective arrival. That was the polite translation. The older species used a different phrase among themselves. A humbling. For centuries, it had been the Coalition's way. A young civilization reached too far, built too fast, ignored warnings, refused treaties, expanded without permission. The Coalition arrived, displayed its strength. The young civilization learned the correct shape of obedience. Humanity was supposed to be next. The humans had been loud in the way only newcomers could be. They had bargained too hard, asked too many questions, refused to kneel in meetings, and laughed at things that were not meant to be laughed at. They had built ships in small yards and sent them out with reckless confidence. They had created new trade routes and then refused to pay tolls. Worse, they had defended themselves against raiders without asking for help. To the Coalition, that was a kind of insult. The Coalition's fleet stopped at the edge of the Sol system, right where the old laws said a challenger should stop. Their formation spread like a dark fan, guns visible, shields bright. Gamma rays open. A transmission went out on every band. This is the Coalition Enforcement Wing. Humanity will cease expansion beyond the recognized border. Humanity will submit to inspection. Humanity will surrender all unregistered military assets. Failure will result in enforcement. The message repeated. It was not shouted. It did not need to be. The Coalition had never needed to shout inside the Coalition flagship. The senior commander watched the human responses scroll across the translation board. There were no frantic negotiations, no pleading, no attempt to stall, no panic. Instead, a single response came back from the inner system. Copy that. Come on in. The commander paused. That was not a refusal. It was not an acceptance. It was an invitation. Then another message followed. And please park in the marked zone. We're doing construction near the lane. The bridge went quiet. The commander felt something unfamiliar, a thin irritation mixed with curiosity. Humans were known for sarcasm, but sarcasm was usually a mask for fear. He ordered the fleet forward. The Coalition ships crossed into the Sol system in a steady, deliberate advance. Their scanners lit up the human defenses. They expected to find a wall of guns, a desperate minefield, a ring of war stations. Instead, the outer system looked almost empty. There were a few small beacons, simple and civilian. A handful of old cargo depots, a quiet lane network, no fleet, no gun platforms, no mines. The commander leaned closer to his display. Are they hiding? One of his officers asked. They cannot hide, another said. Not from this. The commander did not answer. He watched the inner system, where the human planets and habitats should be. The scans were strange. There were enormous power readings, but they were not arranged like weapons. They were scattered, mobile like factories, like engines. The Coalition fleet advanced deeper, and the humans continued to send messages, almost cheerful. Welcome to Sol. Traffic is heavy today. Please keep formation tight. Please don't fire on civilian satellites. They're expensive. The commander felt his jaw tighten. This was not the behavior of a species about to be humbled. When the Coalition reached the orbit of the third planet, they finally saw the human presence. A ring of stations floated around the planet like beads on a wire. Not armored, not hidden. Huge, bright, alive. Cargo ships moved between them in smooth lines. Small craft darted like insects, and in the center, hanging above the planet like a crown, was a structure so large the scanners struggled to map it. It was not a fortress. It was a shipyard. The Coalition commander stared at it. The shipyard was building something. Not one thing. Many things. Massive holes, half-finished, held in place by glowing tethers. Sections moved on rails. Robotic arms crawled like metallic vines. The scale was absurd. His officer spoke carefully. "That yard is producing warships," as the commander said, "but they are not deployed." "No," he agreed again. The coalition fleet slowed, as if the ships themselves were uncertain. Then the human fleet arrived. It did not come from behind the planet, or from hidden moons. It did not decloak or emerge from stealth. It came openly from the inner lanes, like a parade. The first ships were small, sleek, almost playful. Then came heavier vessels, blocky and practical. Then came the giants. They were not shaped like coalition ships. Coalition ships were elegant, curved, designed to look like authority. Human ships looked like tools, like hammers, like machines built to survive abuse. And on every hull, painted in bright white, were symbols, not threats, not warnings, smiling faces. Some had painted teeth. Some had laughing masks. Some had simple circles and curved lines. The coalition bridge fell. Silent again, the human fleet stopped at a respectful distance. Their weapons did not lock. Their shields did not flare. They just floated there, engines humming. A transmission came through. "Coalition Enforcement Wing. This is Admiral Ron Hale of the Seoul Defense Fleet. Welcome. Before we begin, do you want coffee or tea?" The commander's translator hesitated, as if unsure whether to render the words literally. It did. The commander stared. "You are under threat of enforcement," he said, sending the reply with clipped precision. "Your species will submit." The human admiral's face appeared on the screen. A broad face, tired eyes, a faint grin that looked almost amused. "We heard you, Hale," said. "We also heard you traveled a long way. It would be rude not to offer hospitality." The commander felt a pulse of anger. "This is not a social call," he replied. Hale's grin widened slightly. "Yeah, we figured. So let's talk." The commander signaled his officers to prepare. This was the moment where the coalition usually crushed hope. They would show their guns. They would demonstrate power. They would force compliance. But something about the humans made the usual steps feel
all wrong.
Hale leaned forward on the screen. "Look, Commander, you've got a fleet. We've got a fleet. You came here expecting a fight." "That is correct," the commander said. "And you expected us to panic. That is typical." Hale nodded slowly. "Okay, so here's the thing. We're not panicking." The commander narrowed his eyes. "Then you are foolish," he laughed. Not a cruel laugh, not a mocking laugh. A genuine one, like the situation was strange but not dangerous. "Maybe," he said. "Or maybe you don't understand what you're looking at." The commander gestured toward the human fleet. "You have ships. You have weapons. You are outnumbered." Hale's expression did not change. "Outnumbered? Sure," he said. "But not outbuilt." The commander glanced again at the shipyard above the planet. The massive frames. "The endless construction. You built this quickly," he said. Hale shrugged. "We build fast," he replied. "We always have." The commander's voice sharpened. "You expanded without permission." Hale nodded again, as if acknowledging a minor traffic violation. "Yeah, we did," he said. "We thought the galaxy was big enough for everyone." The commander leaned forward. "The galaxy is governed. Order is maintained." Hale's grin faded just a little. "Order for you," he said. "Not for everyone." The commander did not like that. He did not like the calm. He did not like the way the humans spoke like a peer. He decided to end the conversation. "You will submit to inspection," he said. "You will surrender unregistered assets." Hale looked off-screen for a moment as if listening to someone. Then he looked back. "Okay," he said. "But before we do that, we want to show you something." The commander hesitated. "This is a delay tactic," Hale said. "It's a courtesy. And honestly, it's for your safety." The commander's eyes narrowed. "For our safety." Hale nodded. "You came here for combat," he said. "We'd rather you didn't leave as debris." The coalition bridge erupted in low murmurs. The commander's pride flared. "You threaten the coalition," he said. Hale's smile returned. "Softer now." "No," he said. "We're warning you." The commander almost ended the call. But something stopped him. A cold instinct. The kind that kept commanders alive. "What do you want to show us?" he demanded. Hallie leaned back. "Follow us," he said. "Just a short hop. No tricks. You'll keep your guns? We'll keep ours. You'll see." The commander considered, if the humans were bluffing, this would expose them. If they were not, then refusing to look would be foolish. He agreed. The fleets moved together, tense procession through the inner system. Human ships took the lead, slow enough that the coalition could keep formation. They approached a region near the edge of the system, where a cluster of old asteroids drifted. The scanners picked up something there, a structure. It was not a station, not a ship. It was a ring, a perfect circle of metal and energy, spanning thousands of kilometers. The coalition commander felt his breath catch. "What is that?" he demanded. Hale's voice came through calmly. "That," he said, "is a gate?" The commander's eyes widened. "Impossible," he said. "Gates were ancient technology. The coalition used them, but they did not know how to build them. They maintained the old ones, guarded them, fought wars over them. The humans had been in space for a fraction of the time. They could not have built a gate." Hale's grin returned. "Yeah," he said. "That's what we thought too." The commander's voice was low. "You stole this." Hale shook.